Hello.
Is this where we sing? We sing, right? You're gonna sing.
Sing.
Yeah, he wrote an intro song for
Yeah.
this.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, it goes.
My voice
boom, boom,
is
boom, boom.
very annoying, so you don't want me to sing.
I didn't get to hear you sing karaoke.
Oh my gosh, you don't want to. You don't want to hear that.
I heard she does a killer rendition of Du hast mich by Rammstein.
Maybe I
Yeah.
will rock with that song.
Do us.
They also have a Spanish song that's really, really good.
Really?
You'd
Okay,
kill.
okay.
Yeah.
I will hit you up and you can send me
That's
that.
some inside baseball. That's crazy. Huh. Hey, what's up, everybody? My
Hi,
name's
guys.
Matthew Scott. I'm here with Betzaida, Santiago, and Brad Bishop tonight.
One of us is fancy. I'll let you guess it's not me.
Comedian Brad Bishop from Canton, Ohio. Thank you very much for coming today. And we're going to talk a little bit about Star Wars and the Ahsoka series that's out right now and really popular. And we're going to try to fill a decent amount of time just getting you guys up to speed with what we know about the series and the prequels and the sequels and the so on and the so forths. And who's the guy with the Misa horny ears? That's how much I know.
Jar Jar Binks?
Jar Jar.
Binks.
Yeah. That's how much power I have in the Force. I'm 37 years old and I would still love to have Force powers. I still want to wake up one day and be like, holy shit, I can move things with my mind.
You can.
The power of persuasion could be part of the Force.
Yes.
You told us to get here, and look, we're here.
Oh, okay.
You're like, you should come and talk to me. So.
I know, right? We're recording this for YouTube Live, and the audio will be available. And half off all Darth Maul merchandise. What do you think about that? Half off?
It's hard to find good Darth Maul stuff anymore. Because he was like he was a hot character when the first set of trilogy, I guess you want to say. Are we speaking canon, like chronological as the first three?
We just found out that it's Brad's favorite character on Star Wars, Darth Maul. And is he going to get his own movie?
No. I couldn't imagine. So.
I don't know how to answer your question as it is.
No, because he's already like, if you really dig into it, they've already went through like all of his character arcs. Him as the villain, him as like the deceptor, and then him as like the comeback.
He had a redemption story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So can't imagine them giving him his own thing. But like, as soon as people realize he's more than just the trilogy's like quick villain, because obviously Sidious carried over all through 6 movies, but Darth Maul is really where the depth is. That's where the story is.
Oh yeah. So I have to see Rebels.
Yes. One important aspect of Rebels and Clone Wars is they feel the feel. Fill the space between the first, second, third trilogy and all the other TV shows. So if you haven't watched those, I recommend you to watch. Wait, we finish and then you can go there and watch it. It's very interesting and it's amazing how well done the story is told.
For sure. Because like a lot of people jumped in, like I'm 40 and I didn't care about the first 3 movies time-wise.
Yeah.
So going by like the 80s movies, I was never a fan of them. And then when the second set came out, that was like the hot time of me going to the movies. So
yes.
They were the Taco Bell had the Pogs that you could collect. And, I was interested in that, but I saw a cool red and black character with a double-edged lightsaber.
Double-sided.
Yeah. And I was like, that's the dude. And then eventually when I like started caring about depth, I was like, wow, he's actually one of the best characters because he believes in the balance He's not really at his roots a Sith or a Jedi, because if it leaned good, he was bad to keep everything even. If it leaned bad, he was never good, but more towards good to make sure that the scale was always balanced.
Yeah.
So
yes, I like the second trilogy. In fact, my favorite movie, the old saga, is the third one. Is
the Ewok movie,
Return of the Jedi.
No.
Oh no, so it would be
There will be the oh my gosh, I don't remember.
A New Hope.
Attack of the
no, the oh my gosh.
The third of the second set is Return of the Jedi.
Exactly. The third of the second saga
Would be Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. That is my favorite one. That is the fall of Anakin turning into Darth Vader, and
so not Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's what she said. Return of the Jedi.
So the good thing is you can see in each of the frame how he, with color and all the darkness in him taking over the dark side, you can tell in each of the frame of the movie. It's amazing. To me, it's a work of art. Piece of art.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the beautiful thing of all the Star Wars that originally were held to the same standards is they all had long-term expectations. They were making movies today hoping that in 10 years movies were still going to be in that same guide of judgment or whatever.
In the wheel of entertainment. That we use.
If it's in this universe, it has to apply to these rules. It's when people get out and start doing their own thing to it is when you kind of lose focus. And like on a separate huge sect of movies is like the comic book movies. That's what's going on with them right now. Is it's in all the same lore, but they're going in so many different directions. It's not following like the same rules of each one.
Is the super fast spinning of the lightsabers, is that cheating? How they've been doing that in the newer movies and the newer series. I think they did it starting in Kenobi was one of the first.
Well, there's some lightsabers that spin on their own.
They are Sith.
It's like the shake weight of lightsabers.
Okay.
You just squeeze at a different fucking angle and it spins. The brothers and sisters have those.
Yes, that's the ninth sister and the seventh brother.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about what we brought us here. Correct me, Ahsoka. How you like Ahsoka TV show?
I just get excited every time the intro for one of these Disney Plus Star Wars shoot-offs start, and I'm so easy to please that I just like anything popcorn movies, including and growing up with Star Wars. So anything new is super exciting, super fun. I loved Kenobi. I loved all those new ones, but like I said, I didn't watch the animated ones. So I don't know, as far as me being able to talk deep about, the Clone Wars and the Rebels series, I don't have that, but I absolutely love it. I love it enough to get lightsabers tattooed on my leg.
Yes. Yes.
So
that's a fact.
Yeah. And you can see it under the camera there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
See, I think who we're missing here is the fourth person who believes Star Wars is a religion and that it's real and that they're like the extremists.
And if we have that, then we have to have somebody who thinks Star Trek is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because if you're easy to please and I lean more towards the Sith and she is obviously leaning more towards Jedi, we need the extremist who says, no, George Lucas would have never allowed that. This couldn't happen. This would never happen.
So they're not supposed to have a great budget for visual effects and stuff, or it runs out at least. But like, I thought that the space whales are really cool.
Some
And these are
people
some spoilers.
dislike a lot the space wall. Appeared for first time in Rebels.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Yes. I like it. I like
that's like reading a book and then seeing the movie and being like, oh yeah, they did that. I remember a couple of scenes from Requiem for a Dream, which I was going to mention earlier when we were talking about, hardcore substance abuse. But yep, that's
See, Requiem is something that Star Wars should do, a setup like that.
yeah.
So
yeah.
where
Something
is
super sad.
where is the movie, and not to get away from Ahsoka, because it could go this direction too, because
Yes, I
her
think-
character depth could really go like much further and much deeper than Anakin's did. Where is the movie that shows like the dark side of the dark side, like the shitty
the worst of the worst.
hoods of these planets where like real stuff goes down? That's what I want.
I believe they put the Darth Vader as the darker side of the dark side, and the other set like the Inquisitor, they are darker but under the command of Vader. So they are less evil because they are just follow order. And the lightsaber is orange. Sith is red. So they put their blood in the Kyber's crystal for put it red. So I don't know what the Inquisitor do for do it. Maybe his blood, their blood is less pure.
They had Cheeto dust on their fingers when they were
Maybe.
putting
Yeah.
stuff together.
Yeah, nice.
So the lightsaber, except for Mace Windu, means something. Every single one now, I believe in the some of the magazine they publish, they explain something about the color of the lightsaber.
Yeah, like green is training. It's like leading into being, and then once you're a master, you get a separate color: purple, white, orange.
Yes, but the first time appear green lightsaber was I believe was you guys correct me and send me a message with the right information. Was Luke.
Yeah.
When he was he lost his lightsaber was blue and he lost it, and then I mean
Rebuilt
he
it as
lost
a green one.
Yes, I believe.
What about
was,
Yoda's?
But
Didn't he
Yoda
have a
always-
lightsaber before that?
I don't
Always.
think when those movies were being made there was that depth though. I think the different colors meaning different things came to fruition around Attack of the Clones in that era of time frame.
I believe so.
Because
I believe
prior
so.
to that, I think it was just probably meant for class. Like different classes were different colors. Bad guys had red, good guys had
Yes.
blue,
The yellow.
new good guys had green.
Yes, I think I believe so. The yellow one it was from the Old Republic, the Guardian of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
I believe was the yellow one.
Wow. So
And-
that's the one that Rey is getting to use. Is an
And
Old Republic
the
crystal.
yes, I believe I have a crazy theory that I will talk later
I
about
think we
Star
talked
Wars.
about how we think that she'll settle into the gray area of the Jedi, and I think that's a very amazing concept. I think that's sweet, and it kind of also plays into Darth Maul's entire balance thing. And
You think he will be like the gray, the gray,
I thought
the
Ahsoka
lighter
was.
side of the dark side?
I
the
thought
lighter?
Ahsoka was going to be on the. At first, I kind of always thought that I always get it wrong. My predictions are always wrong, by the way. but because I thought Ahsoka was going to be a Force ghost after the last episode.
Oh, no.
So I thought
No.
she was going to be dead the rest of the series.
She will be, to me, she will be a great Jedi. But now that I see her as people say, like a Gandalf style, like a white Ahsoka.
The white and the gray.
White. Yes, she was great. She was wearing great hoodie, and now after all this spiritual and physical experience with his master.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We are talking about the episode 5 of Ahsoka. But before we continue talking about the episode 5 of Ahsoka, who is Ahsoka? For the people who doesn't know who
Anakin's
she
Padawan.
is.
So she was in training as the Clone Wars happened and as all the proverbial shit hit the fan.
Yes.
Our demographic, hopefully you know that Ahsoka is a series on Disney Plus right now. And that's what we've been talking about.
Otherwise, like, man, these people are really interested in the neighbor lady.
Yeah. What are pogs?
Yeah.
Okay, I will tell a little bit the story of Ahsoka. Ahsoka is the race. Well, she appeared for first time in Clone Wars. As
Tell them in Spanish,
14
because it'll come out a lot quicker.
Ahsoka apareció por primera vez en la Guerra de los Clones.
For sure.
And then she was 14 years old when Yoda assigned her to Anakin. He doesn't want Padawan, but he sent her to.
But he has to listen to Yoda.
Exactly.
So.
And she was a whining girl. She annoyed me a lot when I meet her.
It is true.
Because, oh my goodness, she was all the time complaining. And
was she exactly like how the little girl was when they did the flashback?
Yeah.
This is the Clone Wars.
Well, but that was actually like the seasoned
Genesis.
Yeah,
right?
That was like the seasoned Ahsoka. She had already been through training. She had already been through the war.
They started so young. They start them so young.
But the first, then she was a few episodes in Clone Wars. Then she disappeared and appeared in Rebels. Rebels start before Clone Wars finished. So she Rebel was in between episode Clone War and in the end of Clone War. She's Togruta, that says her race, and her planet is Chile, Shile. How you pronounce that? Chile?
Yeah, sure.
Not Chile, like Chile. Chile. It's Chile. And
I didn't even know that. Like, I'm a fan, and I didn't know that.
Plucom. He discovered her at the age of 3 years old. So if you want to know Ahsoka, you have to see Tales of the Jedi, where she is a few episodes of Ahsoka as a baby, and how force sensitive she was, especially with the animal. So what you going to see in Ahsoka, how sensitive she's with animal, that I will not spoil anything, how sensitive, how she can be sensitive, for sensitive with animal, is because she born that way. It's no because
that's why she was able to get in the whale's mouth.
Yes. And she after his master dies or turns into the dark side, she doubt about herself, about her power, about who she was, and she blamed herself because she thought, oh, if I don't abandon my master, he will not turn to the dark side. And because she had so much doubt in her. She was performing lower than that she could, because in Clone War, she was a badass, even being a teenager. She was very good. And in Ahsoka series, like in Mandalorian, was the first time she appeared as a live action. And she was okay. She wasn't great like she was in Clone War. So after the episode 5, now we know we will meet the real Ahsoka. What do you
Well,
think?
and like in at that time frame, it would have been hard for anybody that was force sensitive to let it out,
Yes.
because the more you let it out, the more you're able to be seen by other force sensitives.
Yep.
And that's what the brothers and sisters are. They're just essentially
They are
Jedis
force
that are
sensitive.
afraid to be killed because of their force sensitivity. So they follow suit with the Sith and with the Empire, so that they can still be force sensitive and find the force sensitive users. Because like Jedi and Sith both found them at such a young age because of their natural abilities, and then they would pair them with somebody that would complement their natural abilities, and that's how Ahsoka got paired with Anakin, because Yoda knew both of them would be struggling, but struggling in two different directions. Anakin felt he was the chosen, or he had been told he was the chosen one, and fought against that for the most part. And then Ahsoka's big issue is, if she's going to learn from the chosen one and she sees him struggle, how are you supposed to not struggle?
But I believe that nobody told Han he was the chosen one. Even when he visited Morris, the planet where
it was implied. It was implied.
It was,
Well,
but I think you think he knew?
He knew it a certain
I think
age.
nobody on the Jedi side said he was to him. Everybody on the
Really?
Sith side said he was, because they needed to fuel
But he
the
knew,
pettiness
he
and
knew,
the rage.
he knew that everybody told, because in the movie it's not implying that he knew that even though when he was
That's a good point.
When he was in Morris, with the daughter represent the light side, the light side of the force, the brother the dark side of the force, and the father the balance between them. The father attract the ship of Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan to the planet, because they want Anakin as a being the father. He become the balance of two of them, because he was about to die, and because he was about to die, he want Anakin balance the daughter and the brother. They were always fighting, and he show him what he will become in the future. And but then later on he delete the memory from Anakin, so he doesn't remember who he will become. So when the daughters die, Ahsoka dies because of the brother kill her.
Spoiler alert.
This is like her fifth,
no,
fifth speaking engagement this weekend.
That's in Clone War.
Yeah.
That is not even Rebel. That is
But it's all
Clone War.
canon.
Yes, go watch it, please. So Ahsoka dies because of the brother, and the daughter was fighting, and the brother killed her. And when he kind of killed the daughter, and Anakin was the medium between the daughter and the Ahsoka, and the daughter life force go into Ahsoka. So that's why the little what is the name of the bird follow Ahsoka? Do you remember?
Oh.
They mentioned a few times.
Yeah.
Crow?
No, that's why that animal followed her, because that was the totem of the daughter.
It's like a spirit totem thing.
Exactly. And now from that day on, follow Ahsoka. And that's why she have dying her, and that's why in the episode 5, this looked like a monologue.
Is there one more episode?
I think there's 3 more.
3 more?
Isn't there?
Okay.
I think there's
6,
8
7, and
total.
8. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, thanks God.
Because
Um,
I don't know why, like the way that it says it on Disney Plus is like episode 5 available now, or however it said it. I thought it was like, oh no, this is not the last episode, is it?
No.
No, I'm pretty sure there's
God.
8, and they've already like kind
And I
of
totally meant to ask that before we went live.
they've pre-spoiler alerted that they're not going to bring Thrawn in until like the last episode
Okay.
because they want to cliffhang to because right now
Even though they've released an image of him as Thrawn.
Yeah.
well and they all of the Disney shows have had like huge spikes and huge drops. So there's no guarantee that anything Disney gets another season. So they want to cliffhang hard enough to where people will demand it.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
binged Loki very recently because I saw that it's coming out like a few weeks or about a month.
In October 6th, I think.
When do you guys think was the balance of the Force was most out of whack? In your expert knowledge, really.
Probably when they towards the end of Clone Wars when all the Jedi were being hunted down. Like when Anakin killed
When they were being slain.
Yeah, when he went and destroyed the Jedi training and killed all those kids,
So Anakin turned out.
essentially he stopped the next generation of Jedi from even moving forward. Because if the Force-sensitive kids weren't gathered at that point, nobody's out there to train them to help hone their senses. So all of that next generation are done, are toast.
Exactly, and that's why I said Darth Vader represents the darker of the darker side of the dark side, because after that they sent to people around the galaxy to kidnap Force sensitive child babies to as Inquisitor, as a Sith, and
They seem to have a good job placement program over there.
For sure. And just like any of these movies, if you work in construction, you're always busy because everything's always being destroyed. Or bars. If you're a bartender, you can go to any planet system in the galaxy.
Yeah,
and find
dude,
it,
Harrison
and find
Ford
work.
was just in here shooting the place up, man. Yeah.
gosh, I
Sorry for the mess.
I couldn't see the movie again. I just watched the movie once.
Which one?
The 7 movie, the 7 episode, with Kylo Ren killed his father.
Yes. Yeah.
One,
Spoiler alert.
yeah, spoiler alert, yes. I couldn't.
That's another perfect example of a wasted opportunity.
Mhm.
Just like where they really should have they should have introduced Darth Maul in the
Yes.
first movie and let him be a 3-movie villain. So like the genius thing that a lot of comic book movies does is they have a physical villain, which is in your face immediately.
Mhm.
And then they have an overall arc bad guy for like the brain side of things. The next Batman movie, allegedly, is going to do it perfectly with Killer Croc being what's in your face immediately, and either Mr. Freeze or
The Joker, the Joker.
Victor Zsasz.
The
Zsasz.
Two-Face.
Zaz is like a serial killer in Gotham, and he's like the overall
Okay.
arc, is what they're saying allegedly.
Oh, they are.
That's what they should have did with Darth Maul, is let him be one of 2 main villains for all 3 of those movies. Kylo Ren's another example. They showed all the worst attributes of Kylo Ren immediately, and they're like, "Look, he's spoiled rotten, and he has all this Force, but nobody can make him hone it down and harness it."
But the things about Kylo Ren is he decided to be turned into the dark side. He wasn't suffering. He was just admire his grandfather, and that's why he wanted to turn. Like he saw so much power and the dark side, and he wanted to follow that. When his mother, and everybody he knew is in the light side of the force,
Yeah.
but he chose that for one incident for his uncle. So
one of the writing things I love what they do is that you can really tell where a character falls like at the heart or at the soul of that character by how they recognize different characters. So like Kylo Ren, I do believe I could be totally wrong on this, never refers to Vader as Anakin. He always refers to him as Vader because that's who he is to him. There is no Anakin.
No.
But yeah, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka only refer to him as Anakin. And Obi-Wan
or Vader when they're mentioning, like, it hasn't Obi-Wan said
once, to my knowledge.
Yes,
and that's when
Ahsoka,
the last episode of Obi-Wan when he's walking away from the battle and leaving Anakin like in fury and rage again. That's the only time he says, well, now my friend Anakin is dead, so there's only left as Vader. Otherwise, like even in the flashbacks of this episode of Ahsoka, when he meets her on that Star Bridge or whatever it is, he's Anakin. And even when he's flashing to Vader,
right?
she'll never call him Vader. She always calls him Anakin.
Anakin.
And in the Clone Wars and Rebels, we get to see them fight in one huge epic scene.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing. That was great.
Is it supposed to be different than the Star Bridge scene?
Yes.
Because it
was
live.
more in her training and in her life.
There's a debate on in that Star Bridge scene was that Force Ghost Anakin or was that just like her abilities to conjure him and like basically her challenging herself to survive that incident?
I think that was Force Ghost Anakin.
I think it was Force Ghost Anakin as well.
What happened is that
I read something. Sorry, real quick.
Okay.
I read something that was like it showed him redemption style, but he also had control of his dark side powers. He could go as a Force Ghost. He had complete control over it. He wasn't controlled by it.
See, and what I read was that the reason that made it the ghost is that the bad urges still came through, like when his eyes would change or when he was walking towards her and his silhouette changed to Vader back and forth. Because
a lot of people really loved that.
Even as a ghost, it's still a struggle because he sees both sides of the Force and he understands that no one can be all good.
But he's young when he's Force Ghost for that reason. I thought,
I like to think the Force Ghost chooses. It's kind of like Jesus. Is your Jesus like sweet little baby Jesus or full blown carpenter Jesus? You kind of like when you become a Force Ghost, you just go to what suits best to you.
Yeah.
Yes, in that case, I feel like their soul of the Force connecting. That could be the memory of Ahsoka from Anakin. But I think he, like you guys say, he willingly turn into the dark side in that moment to teach her a lesson. Because after she gave up and say like it will not kill him, he turned back to Anakin. So, and I don't think
it won't kill me.
I don't think it's a Force. It's a Force Ghost because doesn't have the blue aura every Force Ghost has. Now
that's a good point too. It didn't resemble Force Ghost in the images that we've had Force Ghosts
exactly,
before. But she was also totally unconscious.
But Force Ghost. But remember the kid, the Kenan Jarrus kid. What is his name?
Who is it?
Kenan Jarrus.
Oh,
kid. And Harry Syndulla.
Yeah.
Well, Jason.
Yes.
Jason here.
The general's
fighting.
son.
Exactly.
That finds her and he can hear the lightsabers go.
Yeah.
So that tells you that happened.
But
not just in Ahsoka memory.
Her mind, or
that
it
happened.
Didn't just.
That happened because if
right.
it's just in her mind, he's Force sensitive, but he couldn't hear her thoughts.
Yeah, the
to
Force.
Me, that happened.
The Force also physically abducted her during the time that she wasn't in the water and they couldn't
I
find
think
Well, that's
she
the world
want-
between.
Yeah,
the world
yeah.
between.
And I think that's why there's no blue film either.
She want, but the difference between um, Rebels World Between Worlds and Ahsoka World Between Worlds is that it wasn't portal. You don't see one portal
Yeah.
and Ahsoka TV, series. You it it looked like the World Between Worlds, but wasn't any portal. Do you remember when the Ezra went and saw Ahsoka and couldn't pull it out when she was fighting with Darth Vader? And Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels.
She was and when Ezra was walking one place to the other place, was a lot of portal. But in this case, was not a portal. No one.
I think there's a very high chance that they left that out so they had less to explain. Because there's already a lot going on that people who like, okay, me and you understand the whales. He's new to that because he didn't watch the backstory of it. There's a lot of like inside jokes, and there's a lot of like love letters to the fans in this series in particular. So that would be one thing that they can leave out that wouldn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if they added it, it would change a lot because then they're like, okay, so now we have to have somebody explain this.
What happened is non-origin, non-origin. So we know this galaxy. All we know about the galaxy is all the planet is shown and all the saga. But there are a place, no origin. Who knows who is there? So they physically can travel, but take longer. But the whale, the space whale, can travel faster, and they do something. I don't remember. Do you remember what they do for travel space?
I think it's explained that the engineers of this like story and whatnot knew what the whales did, and that's what inspired us to create the jump engines or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But I think the blue aura that you are seeing is because it's originally it was those ghosts in our dimension, in our realm.
Okay.
And she was in their realm that time. Like the world between would be the highest force sensitive people can go there as like an interim, a purgatory of sorts. And that's why they look similar, is because there wouldn't have been an aura.
Dave Filoni say the world between worlds is no time travel kind of thing. It's
spiritual.
Some spiritual state of the mind, of the force.
Yeah, like purgatory.
Yes, but purgatory is when you are cleaning your sins and you don't know if you go up or you go down.
That's exactly what was happening, though. That's what Ahsoka was doing in that whole flashback, was determining whether she was going to be going forward with a lady on a mission or as a Jedi. That was her fork in the road. And that's where, when she stopped from hitting him when she could have, that's when she chose to break the, if they would have been Sith, it would have been the power of two, the rule of two.
Yes. Yeah,
so
he had to kill him.
Yeah, the trainee kills the trainer eventually in every setup except for Sidious's, and he actually relied on it. That's why he had all these clones of himself out there, so that when his pupils became masters,
she's not power hungry.
No, and she still sees them as a Jedi master and a Jedi in training instead. So at that moment where she could have killed, she became Ahsoka the White because she chose mercy, and she chose her path on the Force.
And you see immediately he switched to Anakin and not the Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So I'm debating in between if that is just Ahsoka state of mind. She was fighting with the memory and her regrets, and all the guilt she is feeling, because all that feelings is dark side feelings. So she is guilt, that she feel guilty because of Anakin fell. She felt guilty for so many other things. So that was making her weak. And in that battle, they show you can choose between still in the light side or become like your master, kill your master, you become a pupil of become a Sith.
Yeah.
And she overpowered him by
She chose mercy.
exactly. So that's why
She went on the path, and when she came out of all that, she was Ahsoka the White, which is like the next level.
Yes, the next level.
Very different than episode 1. We had Betzaida dancing on the table. We're dancing in front for the camera.
I suspect it'll come back for episode 6.
Yeah.
So
can you close your eyes for me?
Okay.
And reach out.
Reach out what? From left?
That's not how the Force fucking works.
that was so simple.
No, you mean with your feelings. With your feelings.
I have no Jedi.
I am trying to find the article. There is some kind of material, or there's some element that James Webb telescope discovered on a deep space planet that identifies it as like habitable, or that there's only planets with organic life end up developing this. I'm seeing like phosphorus that they found on one of Saturn's moons, but it's not that. Earth-sized planet, no. I gotta find like maybe the
you're
news.
talking about we now have.
We can at least tell that the atmosphere has some kind of element that I can't, whatever.
Well, and scientists in the last 15 or 20 years have started saying that Earth's chemical makeup is not as uncommon as we originally thought it was. We thought it was like super rare that this one planet would be able to do this.
There's billions of us.
But they're variable because of science, because everything is still governed by science, whether people want to admit it or not. There's only so many things that can happen. So
Yes, because
so many combinations of planets, but there are still like tears in the universe and like things that we don't understand.
Yes, origin to the origin.
Close to wormholes and closer to black holes we get. So, but I think that stuff's really interesting.
Oh
yeah,
we're gonna bring in a totally new demographic if y'all go into conspiracy theories and like Mexico admitting aliens exist, but they're all really fake and could never physically move. Have y'all seen this?
Well,
What?
all the
see
Asian culture, especially Azteca, Maya, and all the South American Asian culture, even in the building, they draw or
pictographs.
Exactly, thank you, pictographs that they have alien space drawing there. That's
Couldn't they just be
2000 years.
creatives?
Maybe something that there is no that, but we interpret like that.
Through every, like, I'm a big cryptozoological guy. And the thing that really like encourages me that some of these things could exist, you just have to be more creative about why, is cultures that didn't know each other existed had these same creatures, had these same beliefs.
Yes.
Like men from the sky in spaceships.
Oh,
the
right.
watch, the little purse,
Yeah.
the one
is
figure
another
with
one.
5 or 6 head, like it's consistent.
Yeah.
Every myth and Asian culture talk about the flaw. Every culture.
So Bigfoot's an alien, Slender Man's an alien.
Not
There's a
necessarily.
Mothman style alien.
It depends on how weird you want to
Not
get. If
necessarily.
y'all want to step off and get real weird, we can get real fucking weird. I love this.
Oh, we next episode will be about the
How long have we gone?
Slenderman.
45. We could do the rest of it as or we could talk about spooky stuff.
No. We finished with this. It's better, and then we talk about.
Betzaida's not done with Ahsoka.
No. I want. Why you think Star Wars is taking us?
Where?
Yes. What belief? What?
Straight to hell.
I will ask you.
I think
too.
if you're going as a fan of it, it's a hero's journey because you were following every big hero arc we're watching. We're watching them fall and come back. Now at the root of it all, it's George Lucas's anger with Catholicism. And
politics.
And
politics.
politics.
We are not talking at all about politics, but it's very, very interesting.
So he's
politics.
against big organized government.
Oh yeah, his whole story is winning against the little guy, winning against the big guy. So go back to the first 3 movies that he did. He's halfway through filming the first one, and the studio comes in and says, "Hey, the budget's gone. What are we going to do?" And he goes, "I'll pay for it." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "I'll pay for it. I just want, I don't know, give me character rights." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll do that. Take them." And now, billions of dollars later, it's all still owned by him because he goes, "Oh, you want $50,000 today for $5 billion tomorrow? Done. We can do that."
But I'm a little confused with what they sell the right of Star Wars to Disney. What he really sold?
Merchandising. He sold the overall creative of Star Wars, but all of the deals underwriting still kept it to where they had to follow his rules. He still is a part of anything that he chooses to be a part of. It's all still basically George Lucas ran and approved.
When was the last time he stepped in and made any major decisions?
Giving Dave
Ahsoka.
Filoni his movie that he's doing.
Ahsoka.
That was George Lucas's decision.
Yes, Ahsoka. Yeah, Ahsoka.
Filoni's doing what movie?
Mandalorian. All the TV show now.
It's going to tie.
He signed off on all that stuff.
Well, Dave Filoni is like he's the showrunner of all these movies essentially, and this whole arc of the story. And his movie is going to be what ties all of them together and finishes all of their arcs.
And you really respect his work.
Oh
my God! He's the savior. He's the savior of Star Wars universe.
He's the Leo DiCaprio of acting.
Well, and it's so convenient that he's tied in with Jon Favreau because Favreau.
His vision.
What a sweet gig!
That,
oh my God!
Favreau vision is amazing.
He takes the ideas of the dreamers and puts it to where we can put our hands on it. Favreau is like the channeler of that, and Filoni is like the inspiration of it.
And Filoni is the medium.
I only know a lot about Jon Favreau from an interview, like a SmartList interview or something along those lines, a podcast. And he's like one of the most impressive people I've ever met ever. The way that he taught himself everything about production.
Yeah.
Just blew my mind. Anything looking into that guy, I believe is very worth it.
Believe Marvel movie is what they are now because of there's a lot of other people around, but Jon Favreau brain and put together the way he put together because Marvel started a long time ago tried to do this. What they did since 2008.
Yeah, with the universe, like
exactly.
The whole
they start with Hulk, but that didn't work. And they
trying to create a legacy of movies, which I saw Mission Impossible. That is so amazing. I saw that in theaters. I think before we even recorded
Is that where the Tom Cruise
episode
train
one.
happened? Because I saw in your bathroom that you announced that Tom Cruise ran a train.
Yeah.
But you didn't say on who or
I
where.
love how Tom Cruise runs a train.
I knew I should have
Runs
seen
down a
that
train.
latest Mission Impossible.
He do his own stunt, right?
Oh yeah, because he's like, that's how he stays young. That's his fountain of youth. He destroys the oldest body and goes to the next youngest. It's missionary impossible.
Are they going to let him be in a Star Wars
I hope not.
cameo?
Well, a lot of people
ruined
cameo in Star Wars as a stormtrooper. I want to do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes,
That is pretty
artists, and some famous people cameo as a stormtrooper.
And that's
I would
like
love to.
that's a classic Hollywood thing of letting masked characters be on screen without their mask. Ninja Turtles did it, where each of the Ninja Turtles who were in the suits were foot soldiers or other characters in the movie, so that
I
they
have
could show
heard
their
that.
real face.
That's great.
So that's like a throwback, and
That's sweet.
and it's like an homage type thing, kind of like in Deadpool 2, where Brad Pitt was the invisible
Oh,
character.
yes.
Yeah.
I
We're
said-
gonna
I
show him.
thought that
for
looked like it's Brad
0.25.
Pitt.
We're gonna show him for 0.25 seconds.
So
Okay.
While he
Okay.
gets electrocuted.
Okay. Final.
Final thoughts on Ahsoka and what we're looking.
I think it's going to be the best show. If there is 3 episodes left, there's a lot to get done in 3 episodes. And like I said before, with them not having guarantees of 2nd and 3rd seasons, they need to do a lot. They need a lot to happen in the next 3 episodes.
Yes. They
Go ahead.
okay. I'm gonna be the last.
Close it out, man.
I
Come
want to
on.
close it out. Can you give me that?
Sure.
No, but then you take it over.
Yeah, I mean it's. I don't
say
think it's.
bye bye. Nothing.
It
like
doesn't
that.
have to be over as soon
Okay.
as we're done talking about
Okay.
it. So,
Okay. Let me.
it's not Ahsoka.
As a non-depth Star Wars fan, what do you need to happen in the next couple episodes
Yes.
of Ahsoka?
Yes.
I am torn right now because, like, one of my favorite things about, and I just have a good example for this, is going to see Mission Impossible. I was super excited about the cliffhanger. I wanted to buy the digital version of the movie as soon as this version came out or comes out. I don't know if it's out, but I'm probably going to buy it. And which means I'm going to plan on buying the next one that comes out, and I'm going to also see it in theaters. So I don't know if I want perfect closure or if I want to be left like desiring more. I love the character, and these live action movies just hit the spot. They scratch an itch for me as someone who wants to just consume the content. I just, I had it playing in the background when you guys got here.
Yes,
So,
I saw that.
yeah, I think I'm going to love it either way. But I know that's not me planting a flag anywhere.
I believe we will see way more than we think we were going to see Ahsoka, because I think they plan. I don't know if Filoni, Lucas, or Disney, they want build the next generation of Star Wars. You in the beginnings you said that you are the second trilogy fan.
Yes.
I am too, even though I saw the first trilogy, but
4, 5, and 6.
No, one,
Second-
But
4,
she's
5,
talking
and
about
6.
in the order they came out.
Yes, in the order they came
So
out.
she goes
Oh.
6, 7, 8,
Yes.
1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. So she's
Yes.
jumping in chronological order, not
Yes,
canon order.
no canon order.
Yeah.
So,
So it would go
you see
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
the second
7, 8,
trilogy,
9.
right? You
Yeah.
are a fan of the second. Me too. I'm fan of the second trilogy, even though I saw no at the time come out, of course, but I saw the first trilogy, and every time I see the movie, I see different aspect about the movie that I didn't see, because if you see when you are 12, 15 years old, that is your movie. That is your favorite movie. Like, you build your personality
Core
up, your things.
memory. Yeah.
When you are teens, like 11, 12, even 10, 11, 12, in the new things,
Yeah,
you build your personality. So everything you see or you hear about music-wise, TV show, movies-wise, that will become part of your personality and will become your favorite thing. Mine is my second trilogy, but I really think they are building up like an Avenger kind of thing for those characters. They will have
multiverse universe.
No, they really don't want to talk about multiverse or time travel, even though Wolverine will look like that, but he don't want to talk about that. So I thinking they are building the new generation of a Star Wars, starting with those characters, and one day they will uh, do a movie for theater about all those characters together. The Mandalorian,
something that's going to feature
like Avenger kind of thing.
Yeah.
With
a full cast. Full cast of these guys.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka, the Mandalorian, and all the other shows.
Like
together.
how Marvel will do phases.
Yes.
They'll do 6 movies to a phase, and then an arcing story, one movie that has them, that all ties in
exactly
one way or the other.
Or like how NSYNC got together at the last VMAs, and they got together and they announced Taylor Swift won an award, and then Taylor Swift was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe NSYNC is back together for the first time." And then she's like, "Are you guys doing something? Are you doing something? Are you gonna get back together and do a song?"
The 4th Trolls movie is what they're doing.
Really?
Yeah, they're all a part of it. It's like one of those things. Like this will be show my other side a little bit, but the last thing the whole group of Pantera decided to do, the only thing they agreed on before 2 of them died, was that they would allow their music to be used on SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there's an episode that runs their 4 biggest hits through the episode, and that's the last thing the whole group agreed on. And then Dimebag got shot a couple of years later, and then his brother died of a heart attack 10 years later or whatever.
Oh, wow!
But yeah,
that's crazy.
Kind of what you're talking about with depth. It's kind of like us watching these shows compared to him watching these shows, because he's catching what's there immediately. Like you're saying, a 12-year-old sees the sword fighting, the hero versus the villain, but then you go back and watch it as a 30-year-old, and you're seeing that villain is actually struggling the whole time with being the villain.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah. I like that. I like perspectives where you can root for the bad guy a little bit. And that's the only reason I think that anybody would, just because they want to, like I have a friend who, shout out to my buddy Aaron, who I used to work with. He loves stormtroopers. He loves Vader, probably his favorite characters. It's like, if we all grew up with this stuff, how did anybody pick a Sith as their favorite character or whatever?
Well, like the Sith wasn't really gone into depth and mentioned until the second trilogy.
Yeah, but you picked Darth Maul, so you picked a bad character.
Yeah, because I was the middle kid that wanted bad guys to win, and I was tired of seeing good guys win.
I am the middle child too.
So she liked the struggle as a middle child. She wanted to see somebody earn their way up.
Middle child,
I love Darth Vader. Why Darth Vader is not my favorite character, the whole saga, is because R2D2 is this historian. He doesn't change. He see everything. I wish I have that power to see everything in time, back and forward, and that will be my superpower. And I think R2D2 had that. That's why I love him. I have like a 5 or 6 R2D2 things.
See,
I don't think Star Wars will ever be over because they say it's not over until the fat lady sings.
there's no fat people.
And now there's
Except for
no
the
fat
Jabbas.
people.
The Jabbas are all fat.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lizzo was in Obi-Wan
Yeah.
and was just, body positive
With Jack Black,
singer. Yeah.
my most
Yeah.
hated entertainment celebrity.
Okay, so I'm not alone in that. Like
No, I hate him.
Yeah.
I had a chance to slap him once and I should have.
Oh.
Yeah. There was a celebrity concert in Orlando one time where the Bacon Brothers played and Keanu Reeves' band, I think, was there. And Tenacious D, well before they got big. And a local radio show had called him out on being unfan friendly. So to prove a point, he jumped into the crowd and left the show through the crowd. And he was like, "From me to you."
Wow.
And I could have slapped him. I should have. Would have been worth it.
And you were there to protest them?
No, I was just high and I was there. It was fun. I was like, celebrities, look, they're everywhere.
That's really cool.
Canal Reeves.
I thought that he would have had more security. Like
I think it was all like public publicity. He
More
wanted to
people.
prove a point.
more people don't
Yeah.
want to slap him,
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of people want it. But
Not our Jumanji. Not our Jumanji, that's for sure.
That was his redemption. That was his Return of the Jedi. Was
yeah,
Jumanji.
yeah.
Where he's like, look, guys, I can come back from this. Ugh. Character depth is what makes great movies and what ruins movies. Like it is, if Dave Filoni has such a make a move, he's playing chess while a lot of Hollywood plays checkers.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people are like, this movie needs to make this movie happen, needs to make this make sense. And he's thinking like, he wants to make Ahsoka as big as it is so that more people go, well, who the hell are all these 6 core characters that we're meeting? Who are they? So then they go back and learn, which is what you're going to do for homework.
Yeah.
Go back and learn the depth and then go in and you start seeing stuff.
Yes.
Like, oh,
I'm gonna pick up Star Trek. I'm gonna start
Okay.
watching Star Trek.
I think I might see a few episodes of Star Trek, maybe season. But I don't know which one was that. The first one, the second one,
see,
or the
there's
third
so
one
much
generation.
Star Wars to get into. I wouldn't sidetrack. I'd stay in Star
The
Wars.
Star Trek
Go-
is interesting, but it doesn't have deep meaning like Star Wars.
I gotta get a Star Trek tattoo, the Enterprise, on my other leg now, just to balance it out.
Yeah, and you would anger a lot of people. Like if you ever went to a Comic-Con like that.
Oh,
Especially if they put one of besides the
Yeah.
other one. Oh my God! How you dare insult
Like
this?
a picture
that
of
would be
Captain Kirk,
hilarious. So
and
frustrating.
it says "Force Strong" underneath it,
Oh my
and
God!
people are
No,
like, "No, you can't do that."
Yeah, no tattoo artist would ever do it. Right.
Oh, please.
No.
There, tattoo artists are out there, and they'll do anything. I challenged a buddy because I created a line of merch a couple years ago that Disney actually gave me a cease and desist on
Yes.
because it's Hulk, Thor, and Captain America in the human centipede position. Like, are you aware of the human centipede?
Centipede? No.
Yeah, it's ass to mouth. They're all connected. So it's Captain America, Hulk, and Thor connected as one. And it says assembled. And Disney actually said, "Hey, don't do that. Let's not do this."
Oh, really?
So yeah, I still have the shirts, and they're available with a $20 donation.
Isn't the image still out
you
there?
have extra small because
no,
that's the
none of my
thing.
demographic. Was
I
extra
swear,
small.
I've seen this.
Diana.
I've seen this.
Yeah,
I would love it.
You could,
I would
yeah,
love it.
you could make a cutoff or turn it into some kind of cute
Just
shirt.
cut off and
I've
put
seen-
in some.
I've seen a little
nice
kid buy
t-shirt.
one at a Comic-Con, and the next time I saw
Oh, you
him,
have the kids one?
well, no, he bought a full-size shirt,
Oh.
and he cut the image out and put it on a vest. He sewed it to a vest.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What are your socials?
I don't really know, to be totally honest with you, because I'm not a fan of social media. I'm
Okay.
on there. Comedian Brad Bishop is probably one of them for sure. The Brad Bishop is probably one of them. I mean, it's this.
Brad
There's
Bishop.
only one of these out there.
Do you have any shows coming up?
I don't.
Okay,
'Cause,
so we're both being booked right now.
Yeah.
We're both in between gigs.
I've been in this this hole of mine writing because I've been if you've ever had if you're a fan of writing, there's things as writing blocks and but there's also writing floods, and I've been flooded with this idea that me and a friend of mine had probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it can't leave my brain now. So if I'm at work, I can put it on the back burner, but as soon as I get done doing my day job stuff, I'm like, okay, this is where we're going with this. And people are like, stop it. It's not real yet, but it's going to be. Keep an eye out for that.
Yes.
Projects. We've all got projects. We're all our own project managers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every single thing we see in this table, in this room, was somebody thought, somebody dream, somebody project. And now it's a house, it's a computer, it's a table, it's a clothing,
It's a pen.
Aliens. That's it.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm so excited for that. Like I hope we reach out or they reach out.
We're going weird. Y'all already promised me we were going to get it weird.
Make life better.
They
They could cure that cancer.
Why would they want to do
That
that?
fucking cancer. They could though.
But just like we were talking about with a lot of the theories of Star Wars, you have to look at it at two angles. You have to look at it as the creative angle of where they want the story to go. And now that they're owned by Disney, you have to look at it the real angle of merchandising and where's the money going to be made. A cure doesn't make money.
Okay.
A cause.
They could introduce a new sense like that. They could introduce the Force.
We have the Force. We really have. It's our positive thought. But it's
Our
a word.
intuition.
Like the
No
positivity,
intuition.
putting it out there in the world.
But positivity work for us. Put the effort, that work in us. Because when you go in like let's say in room, a surgery room, you have surgery, you go and all the doctor asks you if you believe. If you believe in whatever you believe, pray to that. Some doctor told you that. So
Crap.
No. Some people tell you if you believe in something, pray for that. So you think Christians are more safe than Buddhists or Taoists or other religion? No. What saved them is the belief they can be safe. So it's the same for you. It's the same for us. But we have to work for that belief, because what happened is we say it for saying doesn't mean that you believe it. You have to believe it. If you believe it, you act, breathe, and everything you do is towards that. And we can save ourselves by believing, but we have to feel it.
I may or may not have gotten a healing stone pendant necklace thing. Just try to.
But
I've had a run of really good fortune cookies in the last 2 months. Yeah.
But some people.
You're eating too much Chinese then, because I
Just the
wouldn't
cookies.
otherwise.
Just the cookies.
Some people believe in the bunny leg.
Yeah.
And some
The lucky
people believe
rabbit's foot.
in the 13 number. This is a lucky number for some people.
I mean, not
It's
just some people. It's like Tom Segura said. There are huge, multi-million-dollar buildings that have been designed without a 13th floor because
somebody somewhere is suspicious.
But in this country, I surprised. One of the things I surprised about this country is no 13th floor in this country. In the entire in my country, there are almost nowhere. There's 13th floor everywhere.
Yeah.
But in this country, there are no. And like this, in China, there is something.
All around the world, elevators get stuck on the 14th.
I think though that goes, and this might be like a deep cut or looking behind the veil a little bit. Prior to recording, we were talking about the difference of dialects and intellects and intelligent conversation, whatever. And that is exactly that. This country leaves the 13th floor out because it's spooky and it runs a higher risk of something going wrong. Every other country in the world says, guess what? It's a number. If you believe it, that's fine.
Yes.
If you don't believe it, It's fine still.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
exactly what you were saying
Mhm.
earlier. That you were asking why.
That shows ignorance
Yeah.
on the part of our
well,
country.
It's belief.
Acceptance.
It's
No,
of,
bro-
acceptance of
it's
ignorance.
not ignorance.
She's
it's
a
belief.
believer.
No. I mean, what is for you is what you say?
You believe in some kind of spiritual. You think that there's something.
I believe in the whole. I believe in creation and evolution at the same time. One born at the same time to other, and one retro.
Oh,
fit
that's the preparation
things.
H theory.
I don't know
Feels-
I don't know what is that, but I believe
Feels good.
the force is life.
Well, I mean, look at anybody you meet with like a positive outlook of life.
I'm
No,
negative
I'm
in
positive.
a lot of things.
No matter
I'm negative
I'm
in a
super
lot of
positive.
things.
In a-
I'm more negative
gotta stop
than
it.
positive.
in a day-to-day setting, that is Sith and Jedi. If you have somebody like growing up, I had a friend.
A curmudgeon.
Oh
Yeah.
man, growing up, I had a friend, and when he sees me promoting this, he'll find it somehow because me and him still follow him, do stuff. His name's Meatloaf. We grew up
Meatloaf?
together.
If
like,
you-
like the dish.
If you
The dish?
like the dish or the rock
The
star.
rock star.
Okay,
Yeah.
If you
okay.
Formula
squint,
51. Good
if
movie.
you squint at him and me and both, we're kind of similar. We're both 6'3". We're both at one time we're like 300 plus pounds.
Which you look great right now.
Thanks,
since
sir.
Since I saw you.
But Meatloaf had the luck that if he stepped in, like if he was walking down the road and stepped in poop, he'd look and be like, oh, wait, that's not poop at all. That's really expensive French chocolate. Oh my God, and there's $100 bill in there. Look at this. I found $100. I, on the other hand, would get hit by a guy who had a lot of money, and then he would find a way to get away and not have to pay me anything.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end of that, I don't have male pattern baldness, and my teeth are good. He didn't have those things. He had everything else. But
Okay.
but he was a Jedi in life, and I'm a Sith in life. I'm looking at I need to do the work to make it happen, and he lets life figure itself out.
I believe in both sides that we have like a yin and yang. We all have the feminine, the masculine, the positive, the negative. Is know what happened to you is what you respond. You answer to it, and
It's
you
reactive.
had to work very hard.
Yeah, things are
For
tests.
live,
We get
yes.
tested a lot.
Well, in Ohio, since I've been in Ohio, I've been in Ohio since 2006.
Oh, you are not from here?
No, I'm from Orlando. Yeah, that's why. I totally
I
understand.
thought you are from here,
No.
then moved out and came back.
No, I'm from Orlando. I ran away to here to get away from a bunch of projects that I had unwillingly created down there, and needed to start new projects elsewhere.
Okay,
Uh,
good.
So
Florida man moved.
yeah, but since I've been in Ohio, I found two people unrelated that are faithist 100%. Like every aspect of their life, they allow the judgment of God to take place in that.
Okay. Is he
And-
one of them?
And I respect. Is
No.
Meatloaf?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
These two kids I met in Ohio, they're only the Ohio Brad has only had contact with them, not like the evil Sith side of me from Florida. But they changed me. Like both people showed me that there are those types out there. They're super, super rare, just like there's only so many Jedi left in the world. These kids, and I say kids because both of them are probably half my age, everything they do turns out great. And it's all through just the blind faith of
Positive.
everything in their life
Positive thinking.
is under the Jesus and God umbrella.
Oh,
Like everything is, and I respect it. It's not my cup of tea. I need the struggle. I need to know that if with enough work I can win, because not everybody's supposed to.
Some people think that it requires demons to have a kind of edge about you or advantage in any way. And I come from a place where, I'm 21 months sober from
Congratulations.
alcohol. Thank you. And, that's something that I can relate with. I definitely felt like oh, I went through all these hard times. I'm no dummy. I have this intuitive aspect. The ADHD is a superpower in many ways, so all those things led me to also think that. But and now I think, wow, there are, maybe though, even though I don't believe in religion or organized religion, or I'm even skeptical on many of those things.
Like a higher power type
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. Which is why I didn't do well in AA meetings. I don't go to meetings, but I fortunately haven't felt like I needed one. But definitely, you realize that like mom and dad were right. You grow up and you learn certain things, and like getting sober and feeling like a better person than I was. That I was never like a bad person, but there are certain levels. Like I have like as much force sensitivity as Sabina.
Sabine Rain.
Yeah, Sabine
Okay.
Wren. Yeah.
She feels guilt also. That's why one of the recurring things in all Star Wars, everybody who feels guilt is one of the
Candidates.
Force
To-
Sith.
to become
Or
torn
dark
to
side.
the dark side,
Yeah, yeah.
because suffer pain
It creates
guilt,
confusion and
Well, and
take over you.
the argument can be made that is force sensitivity.
Yeah,
Is the ability to recognize the struggle.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people are just what is the video game term for non-playable characters? NPCs. A lot of the characters
the
we
one
see,
tell the story, and I don't know
Yeah,
much about.
they're NPC. They're just there for fodder. They're there so that the scene isn't just two people. It's a room of people. That's what a lot of the non-force sensitive people are. Once you're force sensitive, you realize the struggle. You're realizing that the move you make is going to have ripple effects into other people's lives.
Ooh,
into
butterfly effect.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Yes, I believe in higher power. It's like the light force side of the force. It's a force that people call higher power or God or whatever thing. I believe in higher power.
I think it's just gravity. I think it's explainable by science.
But no, also that you believe in thought. You believe in thought. You think thought exists.
Thoughts.
Yes, yeah. You cannot see it. You cannot feel it. But exist.
See, these are stoner moments you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So you believe in love?
Hang on,
You
let
don't
me
feel it.
hit something off screen real quick.
You don't believe you believe in love. So
man,
whatever.
I believe in love.
Exactly, and you don't see it, and you don't, but you feel it. So that's people who believe in this is that higher power. They call it God.
Their chemical reactions, their electronic.
I feel like God, or what I was teach was God give you free
Free
will. So if he give you free wills, I born physically, emotionally, and mentally with all I need for get what I want in life. So that is, let's say that is from God. So if he can give me like if I have free will, why I had to wait on him and my life change, and my diet change, or my this change? No, when I pray, I pray to my higher power. My higher me is connected with my higher power, and I had to force myself and discipline myself to become in one with him.
My higher power is that little kid in Free Willy. Free Willy.
Throwback. Spoiler alert: the whale gets out. It's
Yeah.
free.
The space whale gets out.
Loose William.
Mm.
Free Dickie.
See, I agree. Higher powers. It's fun. Like some people need a threat of something, whether it's positive or negative. The threat of somebody
To
saying,
keep
hey,
people in
good
their
job.
place.
Yeah.
and that kind of, again, behind the veil a little bit. What we were talking about earlier with our generation, because I'm 40 and you're 37 and you're obviously 25. Our generation.
Yes, and you know what? You're right. I'm 25 because
You feel that way.
No. I'm 25. Let's give you an example. How old are you?
40.
Before you get 40, you had to be 39.
Yeah.
So you had
For at least
39
a little
in
while.
you, right?
Yeah.
And you had your 20 years old you in you, right?
Well, yeah.
So I am 24. I am 25. I'm 30. I'm 40. I'm 40 something. I'm almost, but I'm still 40. So for you had to get one number, forget to the next one. So I am whatever age I say I am, even 1 year old.
Every 7 years, your palate completely changes. So who's to say that every 7 or 8 years or 10 years even, your chemicals in your brain change to where you develop as a new person? Or they say that the human brain goes through cycles. You go through 3 major cycles of life.
He loved to say my age. I hate it.
When 700 years you reach, not as good you will look.
He here say, if you sounds like a dog, fly like a dog,
Quacks like a duck.
Dog, it's a dog, right? I don't have gray. Look at my skin.
They can't.
Look, it doesn't matter. You can
First.
sue it. So I am no.
Look at my teeth.
I am not 40.
Just
I am not
close your
that
eyes.
age.
Sophia Vergara, everybody.
First off, let me say, if we all have powers here,
Mhm.
you should be force sensitive and you should be Sith because you have all this knowledge, but you're choosing to use a language that you're still learning. So it's hard for you to give us your knowledge. And that should be like something you hold against the Force. You should say, fuck you, Force! And,
No. On the contrary.
No, I think
I'm a great Jedi. I have both, and I use one when it's convenient because of the environment I am. So I bring it out, like Anakin does, and the episode 5. He bring it out because he is teaching a lesson. I will do the same. I bring it out my dark side of the Force when I need to. For respected.
Understood.
So all the guys out there, when I find it's because of that.
Do you
all
like
my exes?
Okay, just closing question. We've been talking about Ahsoka. At the time that we're recording this, they've come out with episode 5 of Ahsoka, and it's been awesome. It's been a great roller coaster ride and everything. Closing question: do you like to be force choked?
You have to be, but you got to remember, even with the Force, there are different rules if you have pants on or not. If you don't have pants on, there's a different set of rules and safe words. And if your safe word is like Memphis style brisket barbecue, you deserve to be choked
I like
out.
to force choke.
Same.
Yeah,
you like to do the force choking.
Yes.
Okay.
She does force
exactly,
nipple
yes.
twerking.
Yeah.
No, force choke
Nipple
is
twisting.
better.
Like,
No.
That's a
It's
good
better.
one.
It's force
That's a good
choke.
one.
It's way better. Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Matthew Scott. We got Betzaida Santiago and Brad Bishop here tonight. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. We'll come back in a couple of weeks and probably talk about more aliens, and we'll start getting into spooky stuff because it's getting to be that time of year.
Spooky season.
Yeah. And thanks again. Follow us on all of our social medias. I'm at Matthew Scott _comedy on Instagram and Betzaida. Do you have I don't have anything coming up. So
not yet. Clever Breeze coming soon still. And
she will put her blog out there eventually.
Yes. Send a message. What subject topic do you want us to talk about? And we will.
before we get more popular, we will respond to your messages.
I think he's obsessed enough to where he'll respond still, even to the
He will.
interesting, spicy messages.
He
So
will.
be as spicy as
Oh,
you want.
Yes,
yeah.
please. Especially good.
Thanks again. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
I can't start to smile now.